गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर् गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। राधे राधे एवरीवन।
Sorry, Adi.
Happy Jagat Guruttam Divas that we celebrated yesterday. And in honor of Jagat Guruttam Divas, we will sing Gurudev Sharanam Sai. I have sent it to Vikas. I didn't have time to send it to Anjan. I'm sorry.
I got it from Vikas Bhai. I'll share.
All right. Gurudev आई अब तो लो मोहि अपनाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई अब तो लो मोहि अपनाई। कछु भेंट संग नहीं लाई खाली झोली ले आई। कछु भेंट संग नहीं लाई खाली झोली ले आई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई अब तो लो मोहि अपनाई। असवन माला ले आई दो बिगरी मोरी बनाई। असवन माला ले आई दो बिगरी मोरी बनाई। दो बिगरी मोरी बनाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई अब तो लो मोहि अपनाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई अब तो लो मोहि अपनाई। मोहि भुक्ति मुक्ति नहीं भाई मोहि भुक्ति मुक्ति नहीं भाई चाह युगल चरण शरणाई। चाह युगल चरण शरणाई। मोहि भुक्ति मुक्ति नहीं भाई चाह युगल चरण शरणाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई अब तो लो मोहि अपनाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई, अब तो लो मोही अपनाई। वो लख 84 चली आई, कहूँ पल हूँ कल नहीं पाई। लख 84 चली आई, कहूँ पल हूँ कल नहीं पाई। कहूँ पल हूँ कल नहीं पाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई, अब तो लो मोही अपनाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई, अब तो लो मोही अपनाई। माया ने हरि बिसराई, गुरुवर ने याद दिलाई। माया ने हरि बिसराई, गुरुवर ने याद दिलाई। गुरुवर ने याद दिलाई। माया ने मार लगाई, गुरुवर ने कंठ लगाई। गुरुवर ने कंठ लगाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई, अब तो लो मोही अपनाई। माया ने प्यास बढ़ाई, गुरुवर ने प्यास बुझाई। गुरुवर ने प्यास बुझाई। माया ने प्यास बढ़ाई, गुरुवर ने प्यास बुझाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई, गुरुदेव शरण में आई, अब तो लो मोही अपनाई। भवसागर थाह न पाई, गुरु ने भव सिंधु सुखाई। भवसागर थाह न पाई, गुरु ने भव सिंधु सुखाई। शरणागति राह दिखाई, गुरुवर पर बलि बलि जाई। गुरुवर पर बलि बलि जाई। गुरुवर पर बलि बलि जाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई, अब तो लो मोही अपनाई। गुरुदेव शरण में आई, अब तो लो मोही अपनाई। तुझा कृपालु शरणाई, तुझा कृपालु शरणाई, हरि पर खत भुज फैलाई, तुझा कृपालु शरणाई, हरि पर खत भुज फैलाई, हरि पर खत भुज फैलाई, हरि पर खत भुज फैलाई, गुरुदेव शरण में आई, अब तो लो मोहि अपनाई, गुरुदेव शरण में आई, अब तो लो मोहि अपनाई। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। I would like to speak about a doha, a couplet that Sri Maharaji calls a very powerful doha that he has revealed. And that is because the entire philosophy is contained in two lines. Hari Guru Bhaj Nit Govind Radhe Bhav Nishkam Ananya Bade Bhav Nishkam Ananya बना दे, राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे, राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे, हरि गुरु भज नित गोविंद राधे, भाव निष्काम अनन्य बना दे. First point in this couplet or doha is Hari Guru Bhaju. Worship God and Guru together. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hirtha prakashyante mahatmanah. Shweta Shwatro Upanishad says, worship your Guru, worship the divine Guru as you would worship God. Worship God and Guru together, Sri Maharaji says. Although you could worship only the Guru and you will attain God, but Sri Maharaji suggests very strongly that we keep both, we worship both. Why? Because it's very possible for the worldly mind to think of the divine Guru as being worldly also. When Sri Maharaji was here on earth, when saints come to earth, they seem like the rest of us. We eat, Maharaji used to eat. We sleep, Maharaji used to sleep, albeit very many fewer hours. But he used to sleep. We laugh, Maharaji used to laugh. We did so many things that we did. It's very easy for the mind to think, oh, he's just like me. So when there is a doubt about the Guru, at least you have God to resort to. If you're worshiping only the Guru, then you're gone because you have doubts about him. So this is why Sri Maharaji said, worship God and Guru together. Although it would not be wrong to worship the Guru alone. As Narad Muni says, Tasmin Stajjane Bheda Bhavat. There is no difference between God and Guru. As Tulsi Das ji says in the Ramayana, जानत तुम ही हो ही जाई. When you attain God, you become just like God. As the Vedas say, Brahmavit Shruti Murdhni. When one attains God, one becomes God. So it would not be wrong to worship the Guru alone, but from the practical point of view, it's not recommended. The fact is that scriptures even go to the extent of saying the Guru is even greater than God. Guru is greater than God because, from our practical point of view, God does not teach us anything directly, He does it through the Guru. God does not solve our doubts, does not answer our questions directly, He does it through the Guru. God does not purify the heart, He does it through the Guru. Once the heart has become purified, God does not give God realization, He gives it through the Guru, He does not do it directly. So, from the point of view of our self interest being fulfilled, it is the Guru who is even more important to us than God. Guru is even greater than God to us because we get everything from the Guru. And in fact, so everything is done by the Guru. And the fact is that even when Bhagwan Sri Ram and Bhagwan Sri Krishna descend to earth, both of them accept a Guru. Sandipani Muni was Bhagwan Sri Krishna's Guru, and he went to the Guru. Sri Ramchandraji also went to the Guru's ashram. Guru Griha Gaye, Padhan Raghurai, Alpakal Vidya Sab Ai. And Bhagwan Ram learned everything there was to be learned in a very short period of time, but he also had a guru. So God shows us through practical, personal example. He sets an example for us that we need a guru. And that guru is even greater than God. But we should keep God and guru together. Now, some people can take this idea of worshiping only the guru to a ridiculous extent. I will tell you my personal experience. I had just started preaching. I was in Toronto and Canada, and someone invited me to a place where she used to go for satsang. I went there happily and to give a lecture, and to before I lectured, I chanted as we always do, and so I sang Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala, and the monastic disciples and the preachers of that organization, they all were white and they're all females. And as soon as I started singing, they left. And I thought, is there something I said? It couldn't have been anything I said. I only said, Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala. They don't like the way I sing. What is the problem? They never came back. And later on, I found out that I made the mistake of chanting the names of Sri Krishna. They are very fully surrendered to the Guru. Now, not judging them, but we don't want to go to that ridiculous extent. The way that you should be surrendered to the Guru is in a healthy way. That I surrender to my Guru, he will lead me to God. Not that I surrender myself only to the Guru and I don't want to hear anything about Sri Krishna. Anyhow, so the next point is Nit. All right, I'm devoting myself to God and my Guru, but sometimes once a week on a Sunday, once a day for a few minutes. No. This doha, this couplet, two-line verse says, Nit, worship God and Guru always. Devotion is a state of mind. It's not an activity that we must engage in from time to time. It is a state of mind in which we are to remain all the time. Devotion is something that is done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Devotion does not take a break. Oh, yes, it will take time to get there, but the understanding has to be there that I must remain devoted to God and Guru all the time, not just sometimes. I must not devote myself, I must not worship God only when I think that He has been very merciful to me because He has given me a lot of money, He's given me a good job, a better job, a child, something I always wanted. No, not like that. I'm grateful to Him no matter what He gives me and no matter what He deprives me of. We do not know what is good for us, but Sri Krishna definitely knows. So even though we may ask him for this and that, he will not give something to us that is not needed by us, that would be detrimental to our spiritual progress. Well, in the first place, we should not be asking Sri Krishna for anything, but the fact is that he knows more than us, and that is one of the strongest reasons why we should be not asking him for anything. Anyhow, so we must worship him all the time. He's giving me life, he's wonderful. He's giving me death, he is wonderful. Bhishma Pitama saw Bhagwan Sri Krishna running towards him, rushing towards him, with his eyes red with rage, and he was clenching his fist, and he was grinding his teeth, and he looked very angry. His face was red with rage, and he was rushing towards Bhishma Pitama, holding a chariot wheel of a disabled chariot. He was carrying it like a Sudarshan Chakra, and he was rushing towards Bhishma with the intention to kill him. And Bhishma Pitama welcomed that as well, which is a very, very great example for all of us. That, oh, he looks angry with me. He looks angry at me, but he's so beautiful. And Bhishma Pitama thought, how beautiful he looks. He started looking at Sri Krishna very intently. How beautiful he looks when he's angry. Oh, look, he's coming towards me with the purpose of killing me. How fortunate I am to be killed at his hands. But that is devotion. That is real devotion. Because God must be worshipped all the time, not like all the devotion I did all lifelong. And this is my reward. You're going to kill me? No such thought. No, he looks so beautiful. And Bhishma Pitama as he lay on a bed of arrows, literally on a bed of arrows, for 6 months, he was waiting for an auspicious moment in which to leave his body. He thought of only one scene, and that is Va Patapit ki Pharan. How beautiful Sri Krishna's Pitambar was looking as it was fluttering in the wind. Now, this is a battlefield, mind you, and there's a lot of chaos on the battlefield. And Bhishma Pitama is focused only on Sri Krishna, who is looking very angry and coming with the intent to kill him. So devotion must be practiced all the time, not just sometimes. You know this very well, but I will once again, I'll repeat it, that one devotion that we do, one sadhana that we do is karma sannyas sadhana, where you go away from you abandon your little world, your family members, your daily chores and activities and responsibilities for an hour or two, and you just try to focus on God and Guru. That is karma sannyas. You have taken sannyas from your activities, your actions, duties, responsibilities. But then when you come out, then you engage in karma yoga sadhana. No matter what you're doing, you're walking, you're talking, going to the bank for banking, you're going to the mall for shopping, you are studying, you are teaching, you are cooking, cleaning, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, whatever it may be, but you are thinking about Sri Krishna. So by using these two practices, practicing devotion using these two methods, one day the mind will become so engrossed in Sri Krishna that it will start thinking about Sri Krishna very easily and happily. Happily. So from sadhana bhakti stage, where we are right now, we go to the bhav bhakti stage, where the mind does not put up a barrier. It does not retaliate. It doesn't say, no, I don't want to think about Krishna. I want to think about the world. Now the mind says, yes, yes, please. I want to think about him. We cannot look forward to that stage. I want to think about him. And so, with constant practice and diligent practice, regular practice, we can get there. And then comes the next step, which is Siddha Bhakti. That's God realization. Now the mind is thinking about Sri Krishna all the time. So the aim is to practice devotion nit, always. No matter what is happening, I am going to practice devotion. I'm going to think lovingly about my Krishna and my Gurudev. And in scriptures, Bhagavan Sri Krishna has emphasized this, that devotion must be constant, it must be all the time. Nityashaha, he says. Nityashaha, it must be always, not just sometimes. Nityabhiyukta nam, Sri Krishna says in the Gita, the one who is always attached to me mentally, to him I give my full grace. I give him what he's lacking and I protect what he already has in his possession. So the word nitya is repeated many times in scriptures, including Bhagavad Gita. So Hari Guru Bhaju Nit Govind Radhe Bhav Nishkam, and you must be selfless in your devotion. There must be no desire. Now, having heard the philosophy of Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, now we know for certain that we should not be asking God for anything worldly. When we hear someone saying, oh, you should ask God for this and that, immediately the red flag goes up and say, no, 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 we must not ask God for anything. Maharaji used to say, you people are nowhere in devotion yet, but you have learned so much that you just make a face when somebody talks about asking God for worldly things. You say, oh, no, 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 it's not good. Because we've heard it so much, and now we understand why we should not ask God for anything. But old habits die hard. I was lecturing somewhere in a temple, and I was giving a lecture about not desiring anything from God. So there were children there, there were parents there, people of all ages. And now, when all of this is finished, and then one day I was invited to someone's house, the mother and her child had come to the lectures, especially that lecture about practicing selfless devotion. So the mother, the woman told me that her son, one day, she said to him, Beta, you have an important game coming up, baseball, American game coming up. So go to Bhagwanji, go to the altar and bow down and ask Bhagwanji to help make your team win. And he looked at her, his mother, he said, but Didi ji said you shouldn't ask God for anything. And he was shocked. How is it that my mother is telling me to go to Bhagwanji when I've heard that you should not ask God for anything? And this woman, the mother said, I felt so embarrassed because I had heard the same lecture, but I forgot it very conveniently, and my child remembered. We should have the faith of a child when we listen to our Guru. We just believe it and then we just accept it. So Sri Maharaji has told us numerous times, he's explained in so many different ways with reasons, giving us reasons why we should not ask God for anything. And then we understand once reasons are being given, look, you have a destiny, and destiny has been created by you yourself. And if something that you're asking from God is not meant to be for you, if it's not destined for you, how can any saint give that to you? Why would any saint give that to you? Why would God give that to you? And then if you think that you can ask for something and actually receive it, you're being very naive because you don't really have a good relationship with God. even at the worldly level, we don't ask people for favors, people we don't know. You don't just say, hey, can I borrow your car for the weekend? Can you lend me $500? We don't do that because that person will look at us and say, I don't know you. Who are you? Why are you asking me for this? Get out of here. And we have no relationship with God, and we just go and ask Him as if God is just there just to fulfill these worldly desires. So if we don't have a relationship with Him, how is it that we dare to ask Him for this and that? We should not. And if there are many people who say, no, I get whatever I ask from God, then why didn't you ask God for God Himself? Why did you ask Him for trivial things like more money, better knees, or better health, better spouse, whatever it may be, another child? Why did you ask God for something so small? Why didn't you just ask God for, I just want you? That's it. Like Arjun chose Lord Krishna. Duryodhan said, I will take your army. And Shri Krishna said, Arjun, what is it that you desire? He said, I'll take you. That's it. But I will not lift any weapon. That's fine. I don't need any weapons if I have you. So someone who says, I get whatever I want, he should ask God for God Himself. Then there's nothing. Along with God comes everything. So Sri Maharaji has given us reasons why we should not be asking God for anything. Some people say, He's my father, He's my mother, Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, and then ending with Tvameva sarvam, He's my everything. And He's my mother, He's my father. A child goes to the mother and father, right? When he wants something. Why should I not go to my mother and father, Sri Krishna? And then the answer to that is, well, do you really accept Sri Krishna to be your mother and father? You don't. You're just saying, verbally, you're saying, you're my only mother, my only father, you're my one and only, but you don't really believe in it in your heart of hearts. So if you don't believe that He's your mother and He's your father, then why are you asking Him for all that? He will not accept. He will not accept your request. When someone like Kubja asked him, or someone like Gajraj asked him, someone like Draupadi asked, he will drop everything to give them whatever they want. Why would He do that for us when we have no relationship with Him? So now we know that we must be selfless. We should not ask even God to put us in Swargalok after death, because we've understood also what Swarg is all about. Basically, now, without any ego, I'm just saying that now we know too much. We know, whether we accept it or not, we know too much to ask God for something. If you say, well, why don't you ask for Swarga? Then you say, oh, well, Swarga is not a good place. What do you mean? You get a beautiful body and you get everything that you want. Everything's at your disposal. And it's wonderful. So many pleasures there await you. And then you'll say, no, I've heard Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj. And Swarga is not a good place to be in, because in the end, you get only sorrow and suffering. And those great pleasures are there for a limited amount of time. And after that, you're forced to take birth in lower forms of life. We know too much to desire Swarg. We should even note, we know too much to desire even Vaikuntha Lok. If somebody says, oh, I want to go to Vaikuntha, again, you say, oh no, you cringe. Not Vaikuntha. Why not? Vaikuntha is a divine place. It is. But I've heard from my guru that Vaikuntha is where God is very godly. He's very serious and he's very intimidating. So I don't want to go to Vaikuntha. And people will wonder, what are you talking about? But you'll know because you've heard from Sri Maharaji, Vaikuntha Vasi, Bhagwan, sorry, Bhagwan Narayan. He is very intimidating and we don't dare to go near him. He's showing his majesty. And so he is God being godly, and we feel too small to go near him. We don't even want Vaikunt. And we also know that there is the ultimate nectar, not in Vaikunt, but it's somewhere else. It's in Golok. But we don't even ask for Golok. I want to go to Golok, please, please, please. No, not even that. Why? Because we have learned to just do devotion, just love him, and accept whatever he will give you. What else will he give you if not Golok? He will bring you, he will take you to Golok. He will bring you to himself. He will take you to his divine kingdom, beyond which there is no abode. Golok, Shri Krishna's abode. But do something that will take you there. And that is what Sri Maharaj Ji is emphasizing. Practice devotion so that you are devoting yourself fully and completely all the time, not just sometimes. And your devotion is selfless. It is unselfish devotion, Nishkam Bhakti. And then the final point is Ananya Bhakti. Ananya is a word which is made with two words, na and anya. Anya means others. By using the infix, we have prefixes and suffixes in English, but in Sanskrit and Hindi, we have infix. So you have anya, and you put in the word na, and it becomes ananya, meaning no other, just one. एक भरोसो एक बल एक आस विश्वास एक राम घन श्याम हित चातक तुलसीदास. Tulsidas ji has said, I have faith in only one is mine, and his name is Ram, or you may call him Ghanshyam. So beautiful. Ek Ram Ghan Shyam Hit Chatak Tulsidas. So only loving one. This ananyata or exclusive devotion, it is towards three: your path, your guru, and your Ishtadev, your chosen form of God that you worship. So the path, you must be ananya in the path. You should not be practicing devotion sometimes and then sometimes going on the path of Gyan. Recently, I heard somebody say that. Oh, where I live, there's a satsang nearby, and I'm a devotee, but I go to this place where they teach you are God, Aham Brahmasmi. And that doesn't make sense because here you are learning that you are a humble servant of God. And there you are learning that you are God yourself. So that doesn't make sense. So Ananyata should be there. Follow one path. You cannot reach God by following two paths. Even following one path is difficult enough. And following two paths makes no sense whatsoever. As I said, one path, you're going on this one path, it says you are the most humble, you are the most fallen, and you ask God, shed tears of love and repentance and longing for him, and he will come and he'll accept you and be humble. And the other one says, you are God, Aham Brahmasmi. Just say that, I am Brahma. You're not a fallen soul, you are Brahma yourself. I don't know, am I a fallen soul or I'm Brahma myself? What should I think? Adi Shankaracharya was going somewhere and he was followed by one of his disciples. And Adi Shankaracharya was Bhagwan Shankar himself, the first Jagat Guru. And he was saying, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I am Shiv, I am God, Aham Brahmasmi. Why? Because he was Bhagwan Shankar. So he's saying Aham Brahmasmi, Shivoham. And the disciple following nearby, following behind, is also saying Shivoham, Shivoham. And Adi Shankaracharya decided to teach him a lesson. So as they were walking, they passed a foundry where iron is molten. And so they melt iron over there. Adi Shankaracharya went inside, the disciple went inside as well. Adi Shankaracharya took some molten iron and drank it. Who can do that? So he drank that molten iron. Then he turned to the disciple and said, now your turn. And the disciple said, but Acharya, I will die if I drink that. And then the Acharya, the great Acharya, Adi Shankaracharya said, then son, you have no business saying Shivoham, Shivoham. You're not God. In other words, don't copy me blindly. The one who's saying Shivoham is Shiv. He has come down to earth. He is Bhagwan Shankar. Everyone knows that today. But the disciple has no right to say Shivoham, Shivoham. He has no right to say that. So, which path will you follow? You have to decide. Many people I meet tell me, I used to follow bhakti. And then someone came along and said, oh, no, bhakti, no, 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 follow the path of Gyan. Now, this person who introduced the path of Gyan doesn't know anything about Gyan, but says, follow the path of Gyan. So I stopped doing devotion. What should I do? I feel very incomplete. My answer to them is do exactly what your mother was doing, what your grandmother was doing. Follow bhakti, the path of devotion. That's what you should do. Sri Maharaji talks about, he used to tell us about a female, a woman, who was regarded as a guru by some disciples who were all female also. And she had come to have Maharaji's darshan once. And Maharaji asked her, what is the philosophy you teach? And she said, Tattumasi. Maharaji, understanding everything, had a great sense of humor. Maharaji said, Tattumasi? I've heard about Isa Masi, Christ. We call it in Hindi. Christ is called Isa Masi. But I've never heard of Tattumasi. She said, Maharaji, you don't know? Maharaji said, no, I don't know. And she said, Tattumasi, Mahavakya of the Vedas. And Maharaji said, oh, Tattvamasi. And she's saying, Tattumasi, Tattumasi. Maharaji said, this is a woman who is leading the others, and she doesn't even know how to pronounce the words, Tattvamasi. In other words, thou art that. Before you get to I am Brahma, you meditate on Tattvamasi. Thou art that. In other words, the individual soul is the supreme soul. Now, what kind of supreme soul is this who can't even pronounce Tattvamasi and is pronouncing it wrongly as Tattumasi? So many people will come along and they'll say this path, that path, but ultimately it is a path of devotion that will take us there. So, one path. Every other path looks towards the path of devotion. Please complete us. We are incomplete without you. Bhakti mukha nirikshat karma yoga gyan. All the other paths look towards the path of bhakti or devotion for their fulfillment. And if we follow any of the other paths without devotion, then we don't attain God. But when we follow the other paths, if we insist on following the other paths, but add devotion to it, then we attain God. But why not practice devotion and not and without following the other paths? So one path, one guru. That is not to say that we disrespect anyone else. But just like Maharaji used to give an example of a young woman who gets married and goes into an extended family situation, she has her husband there, husband's parents, husband's siblings, all these people are there. Now she's living with them. So she loves, she respects all the others. She respects her in-laws, mother-in-law, father-in-law, brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, but her love is reserved only for one, and that is her husband. In the same way, Arishtadev, if Arishtadev is Lord Krishna, then I love Sri Krishna, but I respect all the other forms, knowing that there are other forms of my own Sri Krishna. It's a healthy attitude. Not like, oh, the other forms are nothing. Oh, it's a koi bhi nahi hai, nothing. And Sri Krishna is everything. Not like that. To even think that is to commit a very serious spiritual offense. It's a namaparad. So at the same time, we must be very exclusive in the Ishtadev that we worship. One moment we're worshipping Sri Krishna, next moment Bhagwan Shankar, next moment Bhagwan Ganesh, Sri Ganesh, and then Durga Mata. Where are we going to get? We will not be able to practice devotion seriously. So Ananyata is a must. And so Maharaji has said so much in this one doha, one two-line verse couplet. Hare Guru bhajo nit Govind Radhe भाव निष्काम अनन्य बना दे श्रीमद सदगुरु सरकार की जय Now I would like to hear some questions if you have them. Let me ask you a question then while you're thinking of a question. And you can just put up your hand, electronically to answer that question. What are the qualities we should look for in a guru? Who's going to answer this? What do the scriptures say we should look for in a guru? Anjan, you'll tell me if anybody has a hand up.
Yeah, Pravat Singh. Pravat ji, please.
Hanji.
Guru should be Brahmanist.
Yes. And one more. So Guru must be Brahmanist. That's it. That's correct. The Guru must be he must be God realized. He cannot be half baked. He cannot be on the way to God realization. He has to be God realized. And another condition?
Knowledge of the scriptures.
Yes, thank you. Do you pronounce your name Yurek?
Yurek, yes.
Yurek, yes, that's absolutely right. And in Sanskrit, we call it Shrotriyam. That means having theoretical knowledge of all the scriptures. And how does he have theoretical knowledge of all the scriptures? That's because he's Brahmanist. He's God realized, so he has complete knowledge. And that is what a guru is. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Does anybody have a question or should I ask? Let me ask another question. Yes. What should we not look for in a guru? To recognize a guru, what should we not look at? I definitely think you know all the answers to these questions. Don't be shy. What should we not look for? A lot of people do look at that.
I think the ego and self-importance. The guru should not be constantly seeking praise, attention, or obedience. Okay. Or they should not have a sign where they're always seeking that they should be served themselves. So not a seeker, actually.
That's true. He must not be a seeker. But you know how people say, this is a guru, I recognize a guru because, and they make wrong assumptions. For instance, anybody else?
The outer
People,
appearance.
you know this.
The outer appearance, the way they dress.
Outer appearance, yes. What does he look like? Is he tall? Is he short? And what kind of clothes? What color clothes does he wear?
Yeah.
Does he wear saffron robes? Does he wear white? Because in our Hindu history, there have been many saints who have worn royal robes, and they were purple, and these saints, they were decked out in gold and silver and gems and jewels. And if we think, oh, a guru has to be one who is wearing saffron robes, then we'd be sadly mistaken. The gopis were wearing ordinary clothes. So that's another thing we should not look at. Another thing, very big thing that people say, I need this from my guru.
Blessings.
Blessings. Thank you. Ashirwad. I want blessings. And Maharaji never went like this to anyone. He never put his hand on somebody's head like this. And I was in Maharaji's room and someone new must have come in. He must have been new. And he's waiting, after doing pranam, he's waiting for Maharaji to put his hand on the head. Maharaji didn't do it. So he took Maharaji's hand and put it on his own head. And Maharaji was laughing. He can't. So, yeah, we must not look for blessings. Blessings are a farce. Yes. We should also not look for number of disciples that a guru has. So many times I've been asked, how many disciples does Maharaji have? I said, we cannot even count them. And I don't know how many there are. There's not a list over there because I'm constantly discovering more and more people in the world who accept him as the guru, but we don't know. But that should not be an issue. Ramakrishna Paramhans used to go to the top of the temple, he used to go to the rooftop, and he would address the Divine Mother Kali. He was a worshipper of Mother Kali, and he would say, Mother, where are the students that I'm supposed to teach that you were going to send? Where are they? And so there were very few people who went to him. And at the same time, during his lifetime, during his times, there was someone by the name Keshav Sen, and Queen Victoria had come from England to see Keshav Sen, but not Ramakrishna Paramhans. That's how it is. Prabhat Bhaiya, you had a question? Or do you have your answer?
Oh, I a lot of people they ask me, since Maharaji is not there, does he have any, उसको क्या बोलते हैं, उत्तराधिकारी इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हैं? So I'm not
Heir to
look
the,
for,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, that's who has taken who has inherited Maharaji's seat, and the answer is he didn't inherit the seat himself. Nobody has inherited it because he's original, the original Jagat Guru, and they don't give over their seat to anyone because he was hailed as Jagat Guru due to his merit, and that's not something that he will give over to someone. There will be a sixth Jagat Guru if there is one, it will be based on that individual's merit. Yes. So because he didn't inherit the seat, he did not pass on the seat. Any questions? Any more? See if I can come up with one.
Ji.
Yes.
Radhe Radhe Didi ji.
Radhe Radhe.
Didi, one quick question. So we have taken Maharaj ji as our guru. Does the guru also have to accept us as a disciple, or is it like, no, if we have just considered, then we are accepted by default?
Yes. So if once you accept Guru, he's divine Guru. Guru by definition is divine. So if you accept a Guru, if you accept Maharaji, he already knows your heart and he has accepted you because you have accepted him. Nothing has to be said, nothing has to be communicated, but he has accepted you as his own. Yes.
A lot of people would say, Didi, that because Maharaji is not here, then how can he be Guru? Because he has to be physically present, and Guru only can give us that divine love. So, what does that imply? Like, would it be like it can take births, and even with his divine presence, we can get that divine love?
Absolutely, we can. Maharaji was here very short while ago. Maharaji left just a few years ago, and he has left so much philosophy and so much of himself that we can truly first of all, we can get to know his entire philosophy by what he has left behind. Then Maharaji, because he was, by virtue of who he was Jagat Guruttam. And so because of the power of his personality, he will still grace the person, the individual who has accepted him as a guru. I see his grace in action every day. People who never knew about him when Maharaji was here, now they are following his teachings, and they cry for him. They shed tears for him. They are so dedicated to him. So it means that Maharaji is right there, inspiring them and filling their heart with love and with knowledge. So Maharaji is still very capable of taking anyone who accepts him, who accepts the teachings, to Golok. even though he's not here physically. Yes.
Just one last question, because when one hears podcast and all, and there are a lot of people these days talking about divine love and the grace of Radharani and everybody. So and they tell their experiences and all. And when one sees, like for example, if I see myself, I don't feel anything like that. I do feel Maharajji's grace, because I get to have so much knowledge and get to get connected with Kripalu Maharajji's association and with you, everyone. But apart from that, I don't get any other experiences which all the people talk about. What does this mean? I don't feel those experiences at all. Is it like my sadhana is not good?
No, it doesn't mean that. Maharaji had answered this question, and I was right there when Maharaji said it to the devotee. He said, Maharaji, I'm not getting any experiences. He had asked me also, and I said, your big experience is that you had no love for God. Now you have love for God due to your Guru's grace. And that is the biggest thing. And Maharaji said to him, don't worry about the other experiences. All the experience you need is shedding of tears. You just shed tears. That's the experience you need. So Maharaji himself said, that don't look for experiences. Don't wait for those experiences. Just shed tears of love. That's it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ji. Radhe Radhe.
Most welcome, Radhe Radhe. We have 2 minutes left, and then I will do a little kirtan.
Can I share something?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
So I started like a get together on every Saturday, and I have been asking people to come and join. We do Aarti prayer and everything, Maharaji's lecture. And last Saturday, I met somebody, not in that group, but he was there for something else. And I don't know how he visited RMD, and he was saying that, oh, if you are bringing some preacher, bring Siddheshwari Didi, Siddheshwari Ji, because he doesn't know about you much. I'm like, really, you know her? And he said, well, I have listened to her, and I think if you bring her here, I would love to come and participate in the program. So I just wanted to share with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Guru Govinda, Govinda, Guru Govinda, 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 Guru Govinda, Guru Govinda, Guru Govinda, Govinda, Guru Govinda, Guru Govinda, Guru Govinda, Guru Govinda, 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 Govinda, Guru Govinda. श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। जगत गुरु तम श्री कृपालु महाप्रभु की जय। युगल सरकार की जय। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। राधे राधे
Radhe
everyone.
Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Didi.
राधे राधे।
Radhe Radhe Didi.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe Didi.